Hi, let's do a reading. What number? Double fives. That's funny, because I was thinking about 5 a second ago. I got 5 a second ago, but it was a 2 and a 3. Double fives. I wonder if 5 is going to be important this reading. We're going to use the Pure Magic Oracle to start with. I love this deck. I still haven't gone very deep into it. What's on the bottom? Are jellyfish important to you? Water's wisdom, intuition, hermit's light, discovery. What's at the bottom of the ocean? We still don't know, do we? Could be some good stuff down there. I've got 2 oracle cards drawn on the table right now. We're going to take a look at them. Number 6, Hecate's Path. How do you say your name? Hecate. Cycle of life, night magic, crossroads, and letting go. See, I follow Lilith. And I know that they're, they brush shoulders with each other. They bump elbows every now and then. So we're looking at it like a dark, mysterious path, a left-hand path, some would call it, going into the deeps of the ocean to see what you might find. The darkest depths are in the ocean, aren't they? And 5, look at that. Already with the flowing synchronicities. Gnomes, humanity, friendships, hard work, little vision. So I didn't set out the ocean card, the jellyfish card out. I just wanted to see what that said. But it does tie in kind of nicely. So maybe we will take that out. It's still right here at the end. Card number 34. Ocean's Muse. And before I start interpreting, let's go ahead and finish this. So we have 3 cards out, and I said I would do 5, I think, when I was playing with the numbers. Ooh, speaking of the numbers, this is a nice little ADHD tool that my brother gave me. Ooh, so close. There's that 5, okay. It's a gambler's dream. We're either going to turn into the best tarot reader channel, or we're going to get sponsored by RainBet. All right. Ooh, no, not the whole packet, please. All right, we have 2 face down on the table, 3 face up on the table, 5 out altogether. 5 is our lucky number today. 5 is my old angel number. I've been seeing 8s everywhere now. Hecate's Path, crossroads. So there's a lot of wisdom to be gained on this path of yours. There's a lot of boons in general. And you might have felt like as you started following this left-hand path that more and more of the boons kept coming, and they kept coming so fast and so quick in a way that made you feel as if like almost too on the nose. You're like, okay, all right, so there has been something to this all along, and you waited to prove yourself to. I get it. I started following the right things. I started following my intuition. I started going on this inner journey to discover who I am and what I'm all about. With the gnomes here, the little visions caught me. Little visions. So like hard work plus little visions here, and I'll let you see it. Number 5. So there's something special about this card here, and I don't know what. And I would like to know humanity. Maybe a reminder that, yeah, a reminder here to not like lose yourself on the path. This path is not well lit. There are many different instances you can get lost along the way. There are many different pitfalls you can get lost in along the way. You can get lost in your resentment. You can get lost in your anger, your pity, your hope, or not your hope, but you can get lost in hope. But we're talking like darker things, like getting lost in your own despair. Like, you're supposed to brush up next to it. You're supposed to dip your paintbrush into it. You're not supposed to dive right in until you are like powerful enough. But Gnomes here is showing me that it's more to do with friendship and community. Like, there are people that are following the same path as you. There are people that haven't started following the same path as you, but in the future will. And so, like, even you just awakening something in them will in turn awaken a smaller part in you. And there's just something really powerful to that. Never forget your humanity. No matter how deep in the shit you get, you never forget your humanity. You never stopping to smell the roses. You never stop helping the defenseless little animals you see along the trail. You never stop caring, right? Some people that get on the left-hand path, they go down a real evil path, and they can let that hate and resentment build up in them and let it consume you. Let's get these last two out. Another purple. So there's like a lot of purple in this deck. Is like intuition and spirit realm and dreams and like the goddesshood. So we have belladonna visions, and we've gotten this before, and I actually looked up what belladonna was. It's some sort of budding plant, flower, herb, something like that I think it can like kill you. I think it's very toxic. I think it's a nightshade if I recall correctly, and those are very like toxic to humans, but they are also powerful and have been known to be like hallucinogens or what's the word? Entheogens, when you're using psychedelics to access a spiritual plane. Entheogen, I think people use belladonna as, or it's like also they witches used it to like to poison. Oh, interesting. So caution, guidance, clarity, stand firm. But then gin here, and I'll pull this up. It's a nice fiery orange. That's such a good color, and I love that picture. The old trope of the masks, the play masks, right? Like one's miserable, one's happy. Like you are balancing a fine line on this path, and you haven't given up the light side of things yet. You know that there is benefit to be had from a balance of things, but you are being advised to move forward cautiously, to embrace the inner darkness, but don't let it consume you, to stay on your toes. What'd this say? Service, choices. I don't believe in magic that like love spells and stuff like that. Like that always rubbed me wrong, because I didn't feel like it was ethical to try to influence someone's free will like that, especially someone who's not a practitioner and doesn't know what they're doing, or someone that doesn't know the craft. Like they pay people on TikTok to help them, and they don't even try to do it themselves when magic is all about intent. I just don't think that lines up. So that's what we're being introduced to in this reading with this short little oracle reading. I think 5 cards was enough. That was the number I pulled up when I did my first dice reading, and that was the number that came up in duplicate. So close. I think this thing just does it if you do it enough. Yeah, see, you can get doubles, but I mean, if you're not a magician who gives away their secrets, like there's another double, you could get good at it. I think you can. Ooh, and this thing is like, it's fucking metal, bro. It's fucking metal. I love it. We're gonna get into some tarot with this interesting deck. I love this deck here. It's like a denim blue with gold stars, or yellow stars, but I mean gold, yellow, whatever. It's also playing card size, which you miss, especially when you are a magician and like that's how you first got into cards. So it took me a long time to get into tarot. I was introduced to it several times, and I didn't buy into it until I had one important person show it to me, and the synchronicities that followed with it, and I was like, oh wow, I think there's something to this, and it has captured me ever since. But long before, I was collecting playing cards, and I was doing card magic, and that led me to tarot. You know, I had a really sick playing card collection that I ended up losing. But you, when you play with oversized tarot cards for some time, you kind of, I don't know why I keep pulling it up. Look. You kind of really do miss the feeling in your hands of a normal sized deck of cards. We have 4 cards that fell face down, and we will leave them. I always love talking. When I do my in-person readings, I will get someone talking, and we will have a conversation whilst I'm shuffling. That way, just it's a snapshot of that exact moment of that exact frequency in the person who is getting read for in their head. Just a snapshot, boom, right on the table. No fuss, no fuss. So we have the Sun reversed, 8 of Wands upright, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, I was doing myself a reading shortly before I started recording, just to gather my thoughts, gather the energy, but both the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Swords came up, so I wonder if there's some connection to the prior reading I was doing. But coming from the oracle that we just did, and we were talking about learning how to wield both sides of the energy spectrum, learning how to be certain of ourselves and our intentions of why we are doing something, and that we are aware of the consequence, that all of our choices have consequences, and that some consequences are good and other consequences are bad. Rewards are just positive consequences, okay? That's a concept we need to understand here. It seems as though with the 8 of Wands, your ferocity for following this path puts you up for exploitation is a word that I think, it's the first word that came to mind. You're so laser focused in on Hecate's path, and like, and as a practitioner under Lilith, like, I understand the sentiment. Like, we are zeroed in, focused on trying to liberate femininity writ large. We become so laser focused on that one goal, we tend to forget that every action has a opposite and equal reaction, whatever that law of thermodynamics is. But it's true. And if you spend all your time in the dark, mulling over the people who have hurt you, even if we're taking that picture as large as society, and all you're focused on is like learning how to do cursing and poison and harmful, baneful magic is a good word to use here. You, one, don't spend any time in the light, and you don't cultivate the light part of things, and you really need that in order to like keep the shadows out of your heart, out of your bloodstream. It is like a disease. Darkness and negativity is like a disease if you don't spend time recuperating, resting, learning other light side things, spending your time just being like with a gratitude ceremony, doing rituals that induct as much as they expel, okay? We have a tendency, I think, with the 7 of Swords here in reverse especially, I think we have a tendency to lie to ourselves. I think we say, well, I can handle it, or, well, I'm not good enough to be good, so I will just be bad and let other people's be good. But that's not the case. You're missing out on a lot of opportunity here, a lot of beauty in the world if you just stay focused on the darkness all the time. And the darkness is beautiful, trust me. But you can't appreciate darkness without light. Let's flip one of these over. Five of Wands reversed. Speaking on society, I think, how do I say this without sounding crazy or over optimistic? I think, and I've thought this for a while, but my timeline has been extended. The goalposts have moved, so to speak, but I have been saying for a while that I think the fires are starting to calm down. I think people are starting to catch on, especially the people that were lied to, foolishly believed. They are starting to catch on that they have been deceived as well, and that the people that they have been told were the problems, they're realizing are not the problem. I do think if you just tune out of your social media for a while, if you just don't log in, the world is not a scary place. And you might think that sounds like naivete or like willful ignorance, but I think there is utility to it, especially if you find yourself and your mentality and your psyche fragmenting and you can't withstand the pressure of the truth of reality. Then you need to take a step back into the light and let yourself recuperate like a muscle that is torn. I'm thinking of my throbbing knee right now that is currently in a brace. That said, reverse Five of Wands, especially with the Eight of Wands upright, I think we are moving rapidly away from this cursed conflict that we found ourselves in for a while. And that's not to say that these wars are going to end soon and without bloodshed. That's never what I mean. Violence is necessary, and it always will be, unfortunately. We're going to have to act at some point, but I do think like truth will prevail. Good will prevail, love will prevail, and you don't have to take on all that darkness, especially alone. Remember the community card, gnomes. I just flipped over the reversed magician, and this is, if this isn't confirmation of what I've been saying this reading thus far, I don't know what is. Your idea of being a magician is twisted. You're dabbling too deep in the dark side, I think. Not to, and I'm not even like speaking like, yeah, magically and spiritually, yes, but like even just negative thoughts. Negative thoughts can have benefits sometimes, but if you get lost in them, then there's no crawling out of the hole. It's just a metaphor of a hole. You can apply this metaphor to anything. The deeper you go down into something, the darker it gets, the harder it is to be retrieved from said mess. So don't forget that you are powerful. And if you want to see love and sunshine and grace in the world, you have to remember that someone has to bring it in. And why not it be you? Wield both sides of the sword. A lot of reversals coming up. Reverse 10 of Cups, and this one sucks. I mean, it really does. But I would like to see the last card before 7 of Cups upright. Oh. The ending, the ending that you believed in no longer exists. It may never have existed. It's not a bad thing. But it is different. It's something that you never saw coming, you know? But the ending that you want so desperately, and I'm thinking of that Rolling Stone song, you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you'll find that you get what you need. And that's very true. Funny, especially with the 7 of Cups, like, you don't even know what you want. So how could this original vision of an ending to the story be the one that you wanted? You don't even know what you want. There's so many options. And you're in such a dark, hopeless place. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, because you're not in a dark, hopeless place. That was the wrong way to say it. But maybe that was a bit of a Freudian slip. Maybe we all find ourselves in a dark, hopeless place all now and then, and we need someone to kind of throw the rope down and help us out of. Remember that you are not alone. You don't have to isolate yourself. Whatever it is that you think you did in the past, as long as your intentions are pure now, you can be redeemed. You can come back to the light side. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but you have to remember you don't need to be lost in it. At the end of the day, being lost is a choice. What is the stat I just learned, or like the theory? I don't know. We are all completely inundated with unstoppable amounts of information coming in. Who knows if I even saw what I saw, if it was even true. We're living in a schizophrenic, fragmented society. But anyway, I digress. It's like when humans have a propensity to like walk in a counterclockwise circle for some reason, and like even people who get lost deep in the woods by straying from the path, they're often found not very far, wandering in circles, just off of the path, like in an absurd proximity of closeness. So it's like, you don't even know how nice. I just saw what card came up too, and I caught a card in the deck. Just more on community. Community is more important now, more than ever. Yes. Yes. Community. Just community. We have a 4 of Wands and a... Oh, that's not the 3 of Pentacles. That's the 4 of Pentacles. That changes me completely differently. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm on a flow right now. I'm in a flow state. 4 of Wands. It did come up reversed, but I think I'm going to interpret it just as is, and I'm going to flip it upright for now. 4 of Pentacles as well. But this one is like... So if you recall the original Rider-Waite artwork, they're clutching their pearls to their chest, right? They're like... But this one, they're like hiding it behind their back. And I think that is such an interesting divergence from the original artwork. So that's saying like, it's like a different kind of defensive, like, no, these are mine, to no, I don't know what you're talking about. It's more of that like cunning nature. It's more of that cunning nature that I think, and it came up with the 4 of Wands. Like, I think that is exactly what alienates you from groups. And I think that is what you need to focus on getting rid of, out of your body, out of your nervous system. You need to bring those from the front and say, this is what I have to bring to the table. I'm not scared to lose it, but I'm not scared to define it as mine. You can't have it. Whereas the one behind their back is terrified to lose it. They don't even want anyone to see what they have. And you can't expect to be part of a tight-knit community if that's how you behave. Right here we have the reversed 8 of Wands. You are on the right spiritual journey because your intentions are pure and you're just certain that this is what you need to do. Just take some of this advice, whatever resonated. Remember that you are not alone on this spiritual journey. You're not the only one in the simulation. There are other people here. They are all around you, and they are waking up. They can be woken up. But you cannot be saved if you just go full force into the dark side, like Anakin, right? And Anakin came back to the light side, so never forget that. All right, we're going to wrap the tarot up. I thought that was a pretty solid reading. And I have the Scorpio Plutonic Shadow Work deck out right now. Now, these cards are really cryptic. So I have the book out, and I will read from it if I can't remember or can't surmise meaning for whatever we see. Let's play our little stone game. I think I want 2 to come up. Double 6s. So we're going to pull 12 oracle cards. Just kidding. No, we are not. We're going to pull 2. What did Rachel... You put a 1 in front of it, so 12 is just the higher version of 2. I know numerology. Fuck off. Oh, 2. Thanks, Spirit. Thanks, Spirit. You gave me 2 cards when I said fuck off, so I know I was correct. Fuck off. Snail and turkey. God, what? Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to look this up. Snail is pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, but with turkey, I have no idea. You have to be thankful this Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. And you have to be slow about it. All right, we're going to read. We're going to read. If you don't want to watch me try to find where these cards are. I'm not going to cut this video. This is one clip, baby. Where's the index? I can't even find the index. We're fucking doomed. We're doomed. I think Snail is going to speak about your pace of things, obviously, right? That's what we associate snails with. Maybe you're going too slow. No, with the 8 of Wands, I think you're going too fast. And I think you're being reminded to... let's go to 62 first. Snail is on 62. Slow but steady progress, the right path. That's nice to hear. That's a nice confirmation. The adorable snail chugs along at a glacial pace. Not known for making fast movements, they can move so slowly it often appears they're scarcely moving at all. However, just like the turtle, the snail always seems to get where it is going. To pull the steadfast snail is a signal that you are in alignment with the universe, walking the best path for you, even if it feels like you're standing still. But I would like to reiterate, you might be going too fast, and that is always a possibility. And if you find that you are, you should put that part of yourself in check, and you should take your time. Smell the roses. I think I mentioned that earlier. Turkey. Primal instinct, staying wild and free. And that reminds me of Jinn from the first oracle, staying wild, wildness. There is a pronounced difference between a domesticated turkey and a wild one. Domesticated turkeys are notoriously dumb and homogeneous, while their wild counterparts are much more cunning. The cunning, nice word. Nice confirmation there, Spirit. This juxtaposition highlights the benefits of staying wild and free on multiple levels, which is also reflected in the darker, more detailed plumage on turkeys found in the wild. If turkey energy is present, you are being called to find the value in your own wild and free spirit. You are on the right path. The path is dark. You might need help along the way. You might need extra tools, extra preparation, but you are going to see progress. Sometimes if you reach a plateau, you have to take a step back, take a breath, relax yourself, meditate, journal, go easy on your body so you can recuperate and be ready for the next bout into darkness.